Hey you, my name is DeHobster and welcome to the Stanley Parable. I have watched this game before, otherwise I don't remember a whole lot, truthfully. So we're just gonna jump right into it, no questions asked.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Hmm.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
Good for
And then
Stanley.
one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi.
Where did everyone
Never
go?
in all his years at the company had this happened. This complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
This is me. I am Stanley. Where did everyone go? I hate Mondays. Yeah, Monday's just the worst. Yeah, Monday, that's what it says. Okay. Jessica?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Abby?
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Jeffrey? Billy? I don't even know why I'm acting like this. I've already seen all this. I've seen it before, but it's been just years. So I'm very curious what they've changed. Oh, I don't know if I was supposed to do that. Oh, what if I turn them all off? Can I turn them all off? No, I can't. Of course I can't. Well, alright. Wow, this looks good. They've severely improved the look of the game, at least I think. Hello?
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I remember this. You can either follow the narrator, or you cannot. So you know what? I'm going to go as straightforward as possible. So I am going to listen to the narrator this time around. Gosh, I can't remember anything. It's blinding outside. Do we live on the sun?
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Well, I don't think we're gonna find an answer. Slides and charts and stuff. Okay, cool. Alright, let's go. Oh my gosh. I didn't know that's how you...
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Are we sure about that? We sure? We absolutely sure?
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet.
Alright,
no
cool.
reason to still be here.
Well...
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Okay. Ah, it's locked. Okay. I'm going to my boss's office. Holy crap. Can I close that? Cool. Executive bathroom. Money in the morning, money in the evening, money for breakfast, money crisp. Nice. Oh, let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. Mr. Boss Man.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number. 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
845.
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck.
Obviously.
Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Ooh. Let's go behind the scenes. Well. Oh, that's okay. Nothing over here. No. Okay, cool. Gonna click this wonderful giant red button. Do. Oh. That was the end of that.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job.
Oh, obviously.
Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him?
Well,
this question would not go unanswered for long.
You are a slave to the system. You're just here to point and do stuff. Nobody actually...
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
See? I knew it. Slave to the system. Escape. I want to go down there. But also, look how dark and dangerous and misty that is. We'll just keep going. We'll just keep going. Mr. Incredible.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Never know. I definitely have the strength. I have so much. I'm just so beefy. Oh.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Of course. What am I? 427? I think? I don't remember which one I am. It's the Matrix. It's
this mind control
guy.
facility. It was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true.
No,
Had Stanley
obviously.
really been under someone's control all this time?
Possibly.
Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his
Possibly.
emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Obviously. But now,
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it.
No.
His own life in someone else's control? Never.
Never.
It was unthinkable. Wasn't
Unthinkable.
it? Was it even possible?
No.
Had
not
he
even.
truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Of course.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life.
Beep boop, beep
For
boop.
he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Are we actually disabling the controls because I'm just doing what the narrator is telling me? I mean, honestly. 5. Cool, nothing. Oh, wait, there's probably other buttons. Yeah, there's one up there. But no, I need to mind controls. Ideal. Or idle. Ideal. Whatever. Both are the same.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
Obviously. Oh. And then I died. Because I have no control over my own life.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over?
No.
Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How
Who
had
knows?
he been freed from the machine's grasp?
Never
What other
know.
mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him. For it was not knowledge or even power that he had been
No.
seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go.
Of course.
No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel.
No one can tell
Whatever
me.
life he lives, it will be his.
It would be
That
mine.
was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing.
Probably.
Stanley stepped through the open door.
Freedom! Oh.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the
Liberation.
immense possibility of the new path before him.
Oh.
This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
I'm just saying. Well, okay, I beat the game. Well, alright. That's it. So thank you all so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed this video... Another one? Who would have thunk? Alright. 427. Yes, I am 427. Where are all the
All of
people?
his co-workers were gone.
What could it mean? Never do.
Stanley
Who
decided
knows?
to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
No. You didn't miss a meeting or a memo. We're just gonna do it all again. Gonna do this all over again. No, no one's here. That's
When
so
Stanley
weird.
came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Nope. We're going to
This
disobey.
was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Of course. Yeah, because I like admiring the place I work all the time. I like spending my time just admiring it.
Yes, truly a room worth admiring.
Oh, yeah.
It had really been worth the detour after all.
Of course.
Just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Who farted? The number one dad. Yes, I soak it in. I mean, look at the elegance of the...
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room.
Shut up.
A room
Shut up.
so utterly
Shut up.
captivating that even though
Stop
all your
talking.
co-workers have mysteriously vanished,
Shut up.
here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings.
Of course.
Really worth it.
It's worth it. I mean, look at the cola machine. Can I have some Coke?
At this point, Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy
Shut
and
up.
reflected poorly on his overall personality.
Excuse
It's
me.
possible that this is why everyone left.
Okay, that's a little... It's a little, under the... No.
Stanley sat around waiting for more dialogue.
No, I didn't.
But when a long time had passed and there was no more, he decided that the game was trying to send him a message.
We're self-aware now. Okay. No. Look, I need to look at the blinds. I need to blind myself really quick, you know? Alright, fine. I'll stop admiring everything and I'll move on. Garbage narrator.
But at last, he'd had enough of the amazing room and took the first open door on his left to get back to business.
Oh, that's interesting. No.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Excuse me, I have free will. You guys have freaking tied me to my chair and I was controlled for years. Do not jump from the cargo lift while it is in motion.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here.
No, we haven't.
I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not.
Uh-huh.
I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you. But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death.
Good.
Good job, Stanley.
Thank you.
Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
Oh, yeah. All the willpower. All of it. Alright, yeah, let's go. Let's go, let's go, let's go.
All of his co-workers were gone.
What could it mean? Who knows?
Stanley
Okay.
was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
It's incredible.
Look,
It's...
Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here.
Have we?
I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the
Obviously.
fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time.
Of course.
There's
Oh.
someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
For her?
This
Who's
is it,
her?
Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
Who? You're not even telling me. Oh, that's not ominous at all. Oh.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this.
Do I?
Reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
No. No. Not gonna do that. Nope. Stupid phone. Let's... Oh, well. There's probably nothing else I actually can do in here. Fine, I'll pick up the phone. Say hello.
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven.
What?
All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Oh.
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife?
Probably.
They want to commit their life to you. I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
No.
Sorry, but you're in my story now.
No. Let me in. Fine.
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
Good morning, employee 427. Press C on your keyboard. Fine.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence. Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do.
All right.
Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch.
Shut
Now he's
Shut
going
up.
home.
Shut up.
Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
I will press any other... Oh. L. P. D. No. I'm pressing everything that isn't that. Fine.
But in his mind, he can go on fantastic adventures.
Of course.
From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands.
Yeah? Is that what I thought?
Each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him. And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly.
Of course. Spend time with the boys.
So he went further. He imagined that he came to 2 open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold.
Of course.
As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls.
Oh,
And
yeah?
down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he
Baby.
called it the Stanley Parable.
P.
It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time.
Perhaps. I love you,
But there
wife.
is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed.
Wow.
The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one. And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
No.
You see? Can he just not hear me?
Oh, I can
How
hear
can
you.
I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can
Who
I make him
knows?
look at himself?
Never know. Press I.
I suppose I can't. Not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must.
Oh, you
Perhaps-
must.
Well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time.
Maybe.
And I tried again. And
Please
Stanley pushed
die.
a button. And I tried again. And Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
Oh, no. I didn't do anything. I didn't click anything. The end is never the end.
All of his co-workers were gone.
What could
What
it
could
mean?
it mean?
What could it mean?
Stanley
Where have they
decided
gone?
to go-
And you know what? I'm gonna half listen to him and half not. We're gonna see what happens.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Wonderful.
To his boss's coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
No, I didn't. Anything there? What? What's that? What's that say? Okay.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And
Yeah.
in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy.
Of course.
And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy.
No.
All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations.
Wait.
For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went?
Hey, wait.
And for that matter,
No.
these rooms
Hold.
were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real.
What?
At last,
Huh?
he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground.
Oh.
Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun,
Oh.
and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid?
I don't know.
And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life.
Mm-hmm.
Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently.
No, I
and he
didn't.
invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over.
Uh-huh.
Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been.
Nope, I don't want that.
My life is normal. I am normal.
Yep.
Everything will be fine. I am okay.
I'm still moving. I'm still moving. Nope. Didn't work, buddy. Of course it didn't.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black. This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
Huh?
Mariella woke up on a day like any other.
What?
She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and
Really?
then collapsed dead on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew.
Obviously.
Everyone knows what crazy people look like.
Him.
And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal.
Oh,
I am
so lucky.
sane. I am in control of my mind.
Because I think that.
I know what is real and what isn't.
I think that all the
It
time.
was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this.
No time.
So it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body.
Look at this man.
And then she turned and ran.
I'm gonna think about it and just stare at him, not actually help him. I like how little I've been talking. This game doesn't give you a whole lot of time to, like, talk. I am going to cut it there. That's where I'm going to cut it for right now. I will continue this in another video. I'm intrigued to see where this goes different, because truthfully, I don't remember anything. I can't say that I actually remember a whole lot from this game, so it's like I'm experiencing it again for the first time, which is kind of cool. Anyway, so yes, I will continue this in another part. So thank you all so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed this video, please press the like button down below. If you want to see more videos that I've done, check in the description or the annotations in the video. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. See ya!